This is also generated an incredible amount of controversy. The opening ceremonies of the Olympics in Paris, just phenomenal in terms of how globalist France is becoming. France, if you've been watching the news, is a totally schizophrenic country, divided now between left and right. The left and the so-called moderates have ganged up together to keep the common sense conservatives out of power. And France is going literally insane. But these opening ceremonies would lend even further credence to that statement. And this is a segment from the Indian media. And I often watch Indian media because it's surprisingly and refreshingly objective with global news. It really doesn't have an axe to grind for anybody. So I found this report interesting, but it gives you an idea of how hedonistic and how France has become a nation of cyberites, essentially. It's an incredible depiction of how France has become not just totally globalist, but anti-Christian to the extreme. This is a country that is overwhelmingly Roman Catholic, and yet they don't seem to have any problem ridiculing Jesus Christ or Christianity.
The 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony for the 33rd Olympic Games on Friday turned France's capital into a colossal amphitheater. The iconic river Seine served as a track for the athletes' parade, and the ceremony began with the 6-kilometer-long Parade of Nations. Athletes from 205 countries and 1 refugee team sailed down the Seine on boats despite heavy rain. American pop superstar Lady Gaga performed at the event. Event organizers called the ceremony the biggest in Olympic Games history, with more than 3 lakh people watching on the banks of the Seine and billions tuned in on television. Some acts, including the recreation of Jesus Christ the Last Supper, the beheading of Mary Antoinette, and Philip Catherine's depiction of Dionysus, the god of wine, sparked controversy on social media. Netizens called the ceremony disrespectful and absolute garbage. One user wrote, and I quote, "They are literally mocking the Last Supper, and majority of France are followers of Christ." Cricket presenter Alan Wilkins slammed the event as the worst ever opening ceremony, writing on X, "Is this the worst ever opening ceremony of an Olympic Games? Absolute garbage to deliver to a global audience." Another user said, "The worst, period. So chaotic, messy, bland and boring. No passion at all. A bunch of robots would have done better." Some users said that while the ideas behind the acts were good, the execution was bad. This is the 3rd time Paris is hosting the Olympics after 1900 and 1924.
And we might not see another one there again. But this is indicative of how Europe has the elites of Europe have become incredibly disrespectful for their own history, their own culture, their own religious heritage. They just serve a global master. And that's really what this was all about. I found it to be absolutely disgraceful. I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. But think about this. This is France, still ruled by that idiot President Emmanuel Macron. And this is the guy who wants to have a war with Russia, even though it would mean the annihilation of France. And yet they stage these incredibly expensive and decadent opening ceremonies for the Olympics at the same time. Are these people occupying the same world as you and I? Do they not realize that Europe, like North America, is on the brink of economic catastrophe? That things are going to get worse, as some people have been saying lately, worse before they get even worse. Thank you for watching this episode of Stand on Guard and being a part of the KRAYDEN'S Right channel. If you've watched this episode to this point, you've watched it all. And that's really important for a small station like this. We always say subscribe, hit the bell, Be a part of the Crayden resistance. Resolve to resist. That's what we're doing. And if you become a subscriber, if you're a supporter of this station or a member through Substack, through YouTube, and now you can be a local as well, that's so important to us because I couldn't do this without you. I made a decision to become an independent journalist about a year ago because I wanted to bring all of my experience in the military, in journalism, to you. I don't promise anything I can't deliver. I don't offer clickbait. I offer truth. The truth is out there, and it's my job to bring that truth to light and to you. Thanks for being a part of the Crayden's Right resistance, and we'll see you again soon. So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need a political change, but we also need to resolve to resist